For joining us at this time. Now details of the news. The foreign investment drive of administration of President Bola Tinubu got another significant boost as several investors from Sweden committed to the investment and partnership worth millions of dollars in Nigeria's digital economy, health and other critical sectors. This followed Vice President Kashim Shettima's assurance to global investors at a business meeting with Swedish businesses in Stockholm that they can now take unfettered advantage of Nigeria's ever-growing investment climate, which is currently providing limitless opportunities for serious investments. According to him, the Nigerian government under President Bola Tinubu has undertaken bold reforms that are restructuring the nation's economy for sustainable growth, just as the administration's renewed hope agenda is focused on a competitive business environment that attracts both foreign and domestic investments. He cited opportunities that abound in Nigeria, including the digital economy, agriculture, renewable energy and MSMEs, among many others, pointing out that the nation is now an ambitious nation bound by the limitless potential of the fourth industrial revolution. Justice Mary Aneni of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory has allowed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to present two witnesses virtually in the trial of former Governor of Central Bank Godwin Emefiele. In a ruling on Friday, Justice Aneni granted the EFCC's application in which it sought the court's permission to be allowed to fly the witnesses who are currently abroad through video link. The EFCC is prosecuting Emefiele on a 6-count charge of unlawfully printing new naira notes, among others. At the Friday's proceeding, counsel to the EFCC told the court that the two witnesses the prosecution planned to call next were based in the United States of America. He informed the court that his team encountered difficulties in bringing the witnesses to Nigeria and sought to file a motion to have the oral evidence of the witnesses taken via Zoom or other video platforms. And now we have Ngozi Ole, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He is a legal luminary and Senior Advocate of Nigeria who joins us live from Owerri to speak on anti-graft agencies, Nigeria's constitution, as well as other issues. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on Galaxy TV News. All right, so there's been a lot of debate as concerning the inclusion of the anti-graft agencies such as the EFCC and ICPC Acts in the Nigerian Constitution. What's your take on this? Okay, it seems we do not have him at this time. Now moving on to other stories. The Iowa Youth Assembly has expressed concern over some corruption allegations that has attracted significant attention across Nigeria, but are yet to be acted upon by the anti-corruption agencies in the country. Speaking at a press conference in Kaduna on Friday, Aliyu Muhammad, Publicity Secretary of the Iowa Youth Assembly, said this issue threatens the integrity of the public institutions and the fight against corruption in Nigeria. The group said what's particularly alarming is that such figures no longer enjoy constitutional immunity, yet they remain untouchable, pointing out that these raise critical questions about the integrity and impartiality of the commissions.
Alleged of corruption, regardless of their political status and affiliations, the EFCC can begin to restore faith in its operations. It is imperative that the Commission acts without further delay to prove that it is not a tool of political persecution, but a genuine defender of justice and integrity.
They noted the selective nature of these prosecutions not only undermine public confidence in the Commission, but also reinforces the perception that they have become an extension of the party.
Of our justification for even coming out to address Nigerians, because the cases have been mentioned, these people's names have reappeared over and over in the media with respect to corruption, and nothing is done. Now Nigerians are asking questions, is it because they are part of the APC? Or is it because one is the APC chairman and the other is the president of the Senate? You see, that is why we are here. We can no longer take this. Enough is enough, and it must end now.
The House of Representatives has resolved to accelerate the consideration of bill on introduction of independent candidacy by referring it to the Special Ad Hoc Committee on Constitution Review. The private member bill was sponsored by Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Honorable Akin Rotimi. Honorable Rotimi, while addressing House of Representatives press corps in Abuja, said the crucial legislation, which is a legacy bill from previous assembly, was reintroduced for consideration following its first reading on Thursday, September 26, 2024. The bill provides that any citizen willing to contest National Assembly election must obtain the verified signature of at least 20% of registered voters from each of the local government areas in the respective senatorial district or federal constituency.
Comes before them, for them to show their support. But much more so from even members of the public. A lot of people have also indicated that this is something, is a step in the right direction. This is our seventh, we've had our seventh electoral cycle since the Fourth Republic, commencement of Fourth Republic in 1999. And as we approach the eighth cycle, it's important for us to start to look at in what ways we can improve the electoral process, in what ways we can look at our democracy.
The founder and chief executive officer of Electa, Ibijoke Faborode, said the recommittal of the bill is a progressive milestone. She added that the bill will significantly shape the future of the country's democracy if the bill is passed into law. She expressed enthusiasm at seeing the National Assembly unite in support of the bill, underscoring their dedication to a legislative agenda that promotes inclusivity.
That, the media is the conscience of society, will be quite instrumental in helping the public interpret the provisions of the bill to ensure that people do not misconstrue the provision. And as I mentioned, it's such a pivotal piece of legislation that will further enhance, and advance our democracy. So we're counting, on the media, as we said, as the soul of society, to help us, publicize this, ensure that, the citizens understand the bill, and the citizens also see it as the citizens' bill at this very crucial stage, in Nigeria's democracy.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. We are glad to have you back. Now for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comment, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. Financial autonomy for local government administration in the country has continued to generate mixed feelings and reactions among Nigerians. A member of National Assembly representing Oyo North Senatorial District at the 10th Senate and Chairman Senate Committee on Aviation, Senator Fatai Buhari, has however called for prosecution of any local government chairman who is found wanting over misappropriation of funds. The lawmaker made this known while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja on Friday. He stressed that it is not enough to just give financial autonomy to the 774 LGAs, but the Ministry of Finance must publish monies released to them monthly, while urging the anti-graft agencies to monitor the funds and go after anyone found wanting.
Anti-graft agency should go around all the 36 states. Any local government chairman that is found wanting should, luckily they don't have any immunity. That is found wanting, they should prosecute him and send him to jail. It will serve as a deterrent to any other person, even it will serve as a deterrent to the government. It will embolden the chairman that, I don't want to go to jail, I want to exert, I want to work. Fortunately for them, they don't have any immunity. Ministry of Finance, they've been doing it for during Ukojo at the time. They should publish what each local government is getting every month.
The Federal Capital Territory, through its Public Health Department, has activated the Cholera Emergency Operations Center as part of a surveillance and preparedness measure to handle the cholera outbreak in the FCT. It said while activating the Cholera Emergency Operations Center, the Permanent Secretary of the FCT Health Service and Environment Secretariat, Dr. Babagana Adam, emphasized that the activation was necessary in light of the number of reported cholera cases across the country. He noted that as an emergency, the FCT is at risk of cholera and is taking proactive steps to prevent and contain the spread of disease in the event of an outbreak. The Permanent Secretary also affirmed that the Secretariat would spare no resources to prevent a cholera outbreak in the FCT. He directed that all relevant stakeholders be involved in developing effective, reliable strategies to prevent the disease. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaro, has reiterated the federal government's determination to tackle banditry and insecurity in the country. The minister stated this when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Uba Sani at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House in Kaduna as part of his official tour of the Northwest Zone. The visit is aimed at finalizing preparations for the launch of Operation Fasanyama, a joint military theater command established to tackle insecurity in the region. Abubakar, while speaking to journalists shortly after the visit, emphasized the establishment of a command and control center in the Northwest Zone as a crucial step in addressing the menace of banditry. In his remarks, while welcoming the minister, Governor Sani stressed the need for regional collaboration to tackle insecurity. Sani expressed gratitude to the federal government for its commitment to addressing the multidimensional challenges of insecurity confronting the Northwest Zone.
Last week, you have seen the State Minister of Defense was there to also look at what is happening there, to gather recommendations and see how best we can tackle this. And I think a few weeks ago, you have seen our Chief of Defense Staff visit Niger and have meeting with the Nigerian government and to see how we can collaborate and end that movement.
Kudos to all those working for the setting up of this important security outfit in our zone. We understand and appreciate the need for a strong collaborative framework toward tackling challenges of insecurity.
In the demonstration of its corporate social responsibility, the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder has distributed educational materials to primary schools in Rumo Olumeni Kingdom in Obioakwa local government area of River State. Commander of NNS Pathfinder, Commodore Kajithan Aniako, emphasized the importance of education and the Navy's commitment to supporting the development of its host communities. The donation, which includes thousands of exercise books, white chalks, math set, and other educational tools, was presented to the pupils of the Nigerian Navy Primary School Pathfinder Rumo Olumeni.
Operation Sanity 4 was launched on 3rd October 2024. The essence of it is to sustain the fight for crude oil theft, dominate the waterways, and deny criminal elements for making use of the waterways. At the same time, it cannot do that without no kinetic approach to support the operation.
The commander of NNS Pathfinder also visited the palace of the paramount ruler of Rumo-Limene, where he commended the community for their cooperation. The paramount ruler and student expressed gratitude to the NNS Pathfinder for their support to public schools in his kingdom.
The Navy and the community have had very good relationship. That relationship, we are going to continue on that path, and even better. So be rest assured that in intelligence and information gathering, we are always going to relay to you as at when due, whenever there is need, we are going to relay to you. So be rest assured on that.
I equally wish to thank the Commander, Nigerian Navy Pathfinder, Commander C.M. Anyako, for his continuous support to the school and his readiness always assist whenever issues concerning our school is brought to his table. Part of that assistance and support is the reason why the school is a beneficiary in today's roughly outreach. Thank you, sir.
Over 100 flood victims displaced from their houses camped in parts of Makadi have now been given relief materials to take care of their essential needs pending when they return to their homes as soon as the flood recedes. Benue State Emergency Management Agency, in collaboration with State Flood Response Team, carried out the distribution exercise at the NKST Primary School and other temporary camps located within the capital. Items distributed were bags of rice to each household, mattresses, mosquito nets and other essentials along the documentation of households, while other development partners were seen rehabilitating toilets and providing wash. The security of the place was not left out in providing protection for the displaced persons in the camps. Officials of SEMA and others who spoke to newsmen bear their minds on the progress so far.
As you can see, the items which are being distributed is strictly for the 150 households that were captured electronically using Kobo 2 data collection tool, which we are using in all the locations in Benue here.
This time there was a proper planning, and like you can see the distribution going on. We have not even finished registration. But we have decided that, okay, people who are here, they have to eat, they have to sleep not on the floor, and mosquitoes, of course, are here. So distribution has begun with rice, mattresses, and mosquito nets. And like you know, for protection, cases are also on ground. For the protection team is also on ground to deal with protection issues. The wash team.
I really appreciate the God Almighty Allah that make this disbursement possible today, and I want to thank His Excellency the President of this country, Mr. Ahmed Tinubu, under NEMA, and also I want to thank His Excellency the Governor of Benue State, Father Alia, for this great intervention.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has charged legal practitioners to be courageous despite the threat they face in the discharge of their duties. Governor Fubara made the disclosure in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, during the opening of the 2024-25 legal year-round rededication service at the Cathedral Church of St. Paul's Anglican Communion. According to the governor, the legal luminaries must not be deterred despite the threat and harassment they face.
We know quite all right that a good number of you have been threatened by way of phone calls and even physical assault. We are also aware that some of you have also been threatened professionally.
Now, we move to the international desk for more news. This is news from the international scene. 7 people have been killed and 6 injured after a suicide bomber detonated an unidentified device at a cafe outside the police training school in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. According to police, both officers and civilians were among the victims who had been drinking tea outside the General Kahiye Police Academy. The explosion occurred under trees where residents of the area spent time to rest, a police statement said. Al-Shabaab, the armed group linked to Al-Qaeda, claimed responsibility for the attack. The group frequently targets military and state institutions in its effort to overthrow Somalia's government, which has launched an ongoing offensive against it. In August, more than 30 people were killed in an attack on a public beach in Mogadishu, which led to protests against Al-Shabaab. The government has heavily relied on the support of foreign troops to stay in power. It has also joined forces with local armed groups to fight Al-Shabaab in a campaign supported by an African Union force and United States air raids. And that's it for now, but do join us at 9 p.m. for our prime time news. My name is Iribami Salako. See you then.